So I'm making this video before I fix various parts on my bike. I just wanted to document the terrible condition that Havebike have given it back to me. It's 15th of March. They gave it back to me today at around lunchtime. So I originally sent the bike in because I was having issues with the rear axle alignment in the dropouts. The tyre was basically moving forward and rubbing on the chainstays. But something that Havebike do when you give them the bike is they supposedly check absolutely all over it, and then any area where they find any wear, they decide that it's a safety critical issue that they replace that item as well. So basically for me to get this bike back with the fixed rear axle alignment, I also had to pay for them to put new brake blocks on it and new brake cables because those are apparently worn, even though they were, they seem pretty fine. But anyway, so you have to pay their prices for all of that. So they successfully squeezed an extra 70 something pounds onto the bill there. But anyway, I got it back today and it came back whilst I was at work. The guy's meant to call you when he's outside, but he didn't. He just walked into reception with it at my place of work, so I had to run out and grab it from him. That was probably my mistake because I didn't give it enough a thorough look over whilst he was still there. But basically when I went to ride it home from work, as you can see here, when I try to move the front wheels, the brake blocks on the brakes are done up so tightly that the wheels won't spin, and that's on the front and the back. There's zero, like they're rubbing, won't spin at all. They've been done up so tight, and if you go to the little micro adjuster there, it's all the way down, so there's no possibility of giving it any more looseness to sort that out. So I had to basically ride home with the quick releases completely undone, which, I mean, it's pretty springy and weird feeling, probably not very safe. So given that they insisted on replacing the brake blocks and cables because it was safety critical, I think they would have checked something like, do the wheels turn? So that's the same on the front. I had to open the quick release all the way to get the wheel to actually spin. Good job, guys. Then I also noticed, once I got onto the bike and got it moving, that the right hood was feeling a little squishy. And when I say a little squishy, I mean, if you can see, it's completely loose. So at some point, perhaps when they were doing the brakes, some clown decided he was going to undo the screw which holds the actual shifter onto the bars and then not do it up again, and then that went through all of their safety checks. So I'm going to have to go in there now and tighten that up. I mean, it's completely loose, like it could really have caused a serious crash, so that's very unsafe. Again, all in the name of their safety critical repairs. So I'm going to have to go in there and tighten that up myself. Of course, if you cycle, you'll know that it's really just important that you have trust in your bike. And so now I'm thinking, well, if they loosened that unnecessarily, what else did they loosen? There's no need to loosen the shifter if you're changing the brakes, brake cables. Anyone should know that. There's also no need to screw with the bottom bracket, but maybe they did. So now I'm going to have to spend however many hours going around just checking every single bolt on this bike so that I can trust it again, because I don't know what the idiots at Havebike have done to it. So yeah, they insisted that they replaced the brake blocks unnecessarily. They did that terribly. They adjusted them completely wrong. They, in the process, made the handlebars completely unsafe. And actually the reason why they had the bike in the first place was to fix this issue with the rear wheel alignment. And as you can see pretty clearly there, they didn't fix it. In fact, after just 20 minutes riding, it's crept to the point where the tyre is so nearly rubbing, and that was the problem in the first place. You'd straighten it up and then it would creep to the point where the tyre was rubbing. You can see the wear on the tyre there. You can see how the Vittoria logo has been completely worn off from when it happened, when I first didn't realise. So yeah, in summary, did not fix the reason they had the bike in the first place. They insisted that they replaced the brakes, which they then did so terribly, and they loosened a shifter, making the bike completely unsafe, and all at an extortionate price. So yeah, terrible job all round.